Hugh Donnelly, a fairly simple victory in the end there, very comfortable.
Yeah, look, listen, it's I suppose you can look at it both ways. We can look at maybe the performance of Fermanagh, or we can look at how well we played and the few opportunities that we give Fermanagh. So I'm going to choose the latter. Look, we set about our job, we had a job to do, we set about our tasks, responsibilities, we've done them really well, and I suppose, look, the scoreboard reflects in terms of the dominance, but at the same time, we went about our job and we done it, and look, we got some great scores, some fantastic passages of play, and that was probably the difference in the two teams.
One, I suppose, interesting facet of today's game is that you got to play all 30 players and get a look at maybe some girls just out of under 16 grade that you might not have had a look at before.
That's the beauty about carrying the panel, and this is the beauty about the ladies, the LGFA, in terms of the rolling subs, and that's how you blood players, and that's how you get players experience. So delighted to have them in, and again, worked really hard. I was really impressed because we turned Fermanagh over on numerous occasions there on their kickouts and coming out of defence, and the work rate and the intensity that we brought from right through the game was absolutely excellent, and I'm really glad that the girls went out and showed that kind of character from start to finish. So, but again, that's the beauty about carrying the panel, and if you're not going to carry a panel, or if you are going to carry a panel and not give girls times, that's where the frustration kicks in. So it's really important that we give girls the opportunity to get out and play a bit of football.
In terms, I suppose, of the forwards in particular, seem to gel really, really well, but there was a couple of times maybe where goals were on, went for goals, probably should have taken a point. A bit wasteful, even though you racked up such a comfortable margin.
Yeah, and the small margins, and it's a small, small decisions and things like that. But that's something for us to work on. We were never going to get it right here today, and I'm glad we didn't, because it left training fairly straightforward on Tuesday night. But look, moving forward, it's a case of working on them things. We have a lot to work on now, going back to training on Wednesday night, and we're focused now for Derry on Sunday. So
some of the younger girls that came in there towards the end haven't seen a lot of game time, maybe brand new to the squad, the likes of Niamh Ryan making her debut in goals, unfortunately conceding with almost the last kick of the game. But seeing those kind of players come through must be promising for Leitrim, as well as the experience that obviously started the game.
Yeah, I think there's probably 10 or 12 that has been brought in terms of on youth, and a lot of them's coming through from under 16s and minors, which is great, and that's what part of my job as a manager is to try and integrate players and have that there's a backup down the line when I go. So look, it's great to see the young, and there's a want there, there's a desire there, they want to come out and represent their county again, which is great. So look, the underage right through is really good, and look, it makes my job easier when I have players queuing up that want to represent the county again.
We spoke to Oisin Fowley during the week on the podcast, and she came off the bench early on, contributed with a nice goal, a couple of points as well, just to kind of make her return to the inter-county fray. Having the players like that, I remember McGovern, who took a year off last year back on the panel, it must be nice just to have that bit of experience,
exactly,
fresh faces as well.
Exactly, and that's what it's about. We started a few of the younger girls in terms of Sarah Reynolds started today as well, do you know what I mean? And that gives her
scored after a minute.
Yeah, exactly, and a great goal, well taken goal as well, and a girl who's mad keen to learn. And then you have the likes of the other, the farther end of the scale in terms of Roisin and girls like that coming off the bench, Sinead Ty come off the bench, you know what I mean? So again, that bends for a really good team in terms of team morale and a team squad, because you have you're carrying 38 players. So again, it keeps that whole thing of competition for places, and it keeps everything nice and fresh going into training.
Gives you a nice step towards a league knockout stage as well, with 2 games to come against Derry and Antrim, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Anything different we might see over the next 2 games?
Well, look, listen, it's really important that I give players the opportunity to get game time, so that's what I plan to do next Sunday, without making too many rush changes. Derry will give us a different challenge in terms of Oran will have them well set up, and I think Antrim maybe beat them today as well, so they're going for their first victory as well, possibly next week as well. So it leaves another really clinical game in terms of all or nothing. We win that, then you're probably guaranteed at least a semi-final spot one way or the other. So there's a lot on the line for next Sunday.
Ailish Kernan came off with a bit of an injury. How's she?
She got a bang to the head or blocked the ball with her face, and again that sums up exactly where we're at in terms of the mentality of this team. We're prepared to throw the body in the line, which is absolutely excellent. And McGovern got a bad bang 2 weeks ago as well, doing the same thing, throwing the body in the line, which is excellent, and I can't ask for any more in terms of girls putting their bodies in the line, which is great. But no, she's fine, she's 100%.
Well done today, Hugh.
Lovely, thanks a million.